to be shifted to where, all people and all men should be more sensitive to, and be more, emotionally driven and, being more in touch with their emotions and things of that nature. That narrative had been pushed a lot more, but it's more in our nature to just have been a lot more logical, from all our generations previously before us now.
Sometimes the irrational action is the right action for the time. I can, and this is hindsight, but there are times in my life where I can say I can look back at a time that I acted irrationally, but in the grand scheme of the situation, I totally justify it and understand why it happened.
I can be rational and make rational decisions for you because I'm not in it.
What's that apple to shelf? Buying apples are made looking cute. Gotta pause on that. Looking clean and looking sexy. And it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday. We switched the shows. I know y'all. I know some people upset. But I'm with the boys. It's Man Cave. All right. This man. We just came off. We just came off Spider-Man. Now we gotta humble ourselves off the hive. The Peter Parker, the friendly neighborhood scumbag, is no longer friendly because it's Thursday.
Nope. It's out.
So
back to local.
Up top, we have the best on the mic. Unico, what's good?
What's good, man? What's good, everybody? It's your boy Unico Williams. You know what the deal is. Unico_Williams on all social media. And you know I'm the host of Do You Hear Me with Unico Williams. Have you heard? All type of stuff. Just filming stuff and just throwing it out there.
Willy-nilly.
And to the top right, we have the local neighborhood scumbag. He's back to his roots.
I'm back. We ain't friendly no more. You already know. Afro Commie 765 on everything.
And below him, we have the one, the only, from Broke Ugly Dudes himself, Montay.
What's up, everybody? Your boy Montay Hudson, aka representative of Broke Ugly Dudes TV, back again. To share some knowledge this time on the Man Cave with the fellas, the great ones. I'm glad to be their guest once again.
And of course, you got me with a haircut.
Hey,
he kind of got that Doctor Strange like goatee thing going on, don't he?
That's what we're doing, bro. We're doing it for the culture.
You out here messing with the multiverse and not telling us you need to hit the lottery.
I'm out here with my exes from every multiverse. What's good? Sending pictures to her like, tissue? That ain't me. In another multiverse, this you? That would be a crazy story.
Hey, toxicity on a multiversal level.
No, that's like Future level. If Future can go to every universe to sleep with
my God.
Hey, Future.
He got to go to one where he broke, though.
King. He's one hit away from being back all right. He got one more in him. The residuals are there, I'm sure. He owns his masters.
Can get Kanye to come out for anything.
Big Sean.
Kanye, we got to check on Kanye because Kim and Pete Davidson out here doing it up big.
Big Sean airing them out on.
Oh yeah, you owe me $6 million, cuz.
That's a hefty debt, especially when you're
is.
I need that.
And then you like you the
Joe
worst thing I ever said, and then you owe him $6 million. Got a free $6 million. But today is irrational versus rational decision making. Speaking of Kanye
is the perfect segue.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, just real quick. I know since we're going into irrational, I saw a video, which would have been like a couple days ago at this point. But I saw a video of dude saying Kanye's better as Kim was walking out of a movie theater, and then zoomed in on her butt, and then like was giggling. How rational behavior was that?
Yeah, do not.
So I feel like I was saying.
Did you laugh?
I was proud that he had the balls to do it. But I was
Yo,
happy that he got the butt shot because I've always wondered, is it
does it move while she
Photoshop
walks?
or is it like that was in its natural habitat? So
that Black Panther was like, I was like, oh my God, you really like this?
because this the man cave. We talk about stuff.
Hey,
You really like this, my God. She is really like this. Like it
She-
ain't even.
Kanye doing bad, yo.
It's really like that. So,
I think
Go
Pete,
ahead,
y'all
man.
think Pete
I'm sorry,
Davidson makes it
I had to
worse.
bring in my man cave moment.
but yeah, irrational versus rational decision making. A lot of people, I know this is a thing that most people say it's an old timey thing, maybe outdated, maybe. Women act irrational. Men are always rational. Men are the rational creatures. Women are the irrational creatures.
Mhm.
Women will tell you something and expect you to know something when we know that they didn't tell us. Like I can't tell how you feel. I can't tell you how to eat. Me and Bree did
Can't
a
read
show.
minds.
Me and Bree did a show. She like, I just want whatever, but I want you to pick it unless it's something I don't want. And I was like, what?
Huh?
I'm not feeling pizza today. I don't want pizza. I'm like, but you said whatever, but I don't want whatever. I want you to pick whatever because I can't decide what you pick. So I'm like, just tell me 5 different stores and I can choose one out of the 5 that you might want. Just make it just simplify it somewhere.
Flip a coin.
And as history has said, men are usually the rational creatures. Men are the creatures who, in their habitat, they always focus. They always know what they want. They go get what they want. They want something in the store. They make a list. They go get it. It's simple, right? It's easy. I'm here to, on Man Cave, it's a weird thing to do. Say that has kind of left right now. And I want to discuss it. I want to talk about how everything in the world is kind of switching up and down. Like no longer is it rational decision making. It's just whatever. It's feelings basically. We all just go on how we feel and how it could hurt us and how, even in my case, sometimes the ego get in the way and you want to do something your way, but you got to understand that. And that's why I made other channels over on 99 Sports. Sleep Z's is coming out soon. Z is for Zelme. Sleep Z's. Just in case somebody wondering.
ASMR.
Yeah, so all that channel with little waves coming for like 8 hours so you can sleep. And overall 99 content channel, we got Seat News coming soon on that channel, probably on New Year's. We hoping to get all that
I
done.
thought you said country channel. I was like, oh, we're really getting out there.
Yeah, so we have multiple channels doing different things. This is the podcast channel, and I'm with the boys, and I want to know your thoughts on rational versus irrational. And I want to talk to probably one of the people that TikTok think is the most rational. I know he know who that is because TikTok love Montay.
Oh, yeah.
So Montay, tell me about rational and irrational.
Mr. Rational
Yo, my
himself.
TikTok love you, man. That's all I know.
You need to send them my way to my TikTok so they can go ahead and discuss with me about this other stuff. Send them my way. They'll learn one way or the other. Oh, rational and irrational thinking. How do I start this? Well, I guess, yeah, it originally came from men are rational, logical thinkers, and women are more emotionally driven and emotionally based. That's still true. That narrative has been trying to be shifted to where, all people and all men should be more sensitive to, and be more, emotionally driven and, being more in touch with their emotions and things of that nature. That narrative had been pushed a lot more, but it's more in our nature to just have been a lot more logical, from all our generations previously before us now. Now, should we be more emotionally driven? No, we shouldn't. There's a lot. To be in tune with your emotions is one thing. You don't need to deny your emotional part of yourself. That's true. But to be driven by your emotions instead of being driven by all your logical means and sounds eventually gets to the point where nowadays it's a lot more common to where people ignore facts and they go by their opinions and they take their opinions as facts and they take how they feel to be the only plausible reality when, truth be told, it's not it. Just because you perceive something don't mean that that's the truth. And a lot of people nowadays, whether it be over social media, whether it be on talk shows, whether it be on podcasts, whether it be no matter where you want to look at, a lot of people are putting their opinions out there. But just because you have an opinion doesn't mean it's something that needs to be accepted. Like, everybody can have an opinion. My uncle said it the same way. Everybody got an a-hole, and they usually stink. So everybody can have an opinion, just like a-hole. Everybody got one, and most of them stink, to be real with you. So, it is what it is. Everybody, can say, I have an opinion, or I have something to say, but are all of them logically based and sound? No, a lot of them just aren't. So most of the time, I think it is way better to think logically and keep logically thinking and not think emotionally, because emotions are just that. They're emotions that come and go as they please. And you can feel an emotion coming, and, you can control how you react to it to a certain degree. But you don't need to be led by that emotion, whether it be sadness, whether it be happiness, or whether it be, the pursuit of happiness, even that, or the biggest one that gets everybody in trouble, love. Do not be led by that. So, no, even though the main thing when people be like, you need love in marriage. Marriage is not kept alive by love. That's nice, big spoiler for anybody to know. You can ask the people that's been married for 10 to 20 and 30, 40, 50 years. Love does not keep a marriage strong. So that's just proof positive as one example that your emotions don't need to be what drives you to do something. No.
I want to talk to my emotional friend at the top left over here. Nico.
Let's go.
My whole thing is this. When you're talking to me and you talking to me about you, I can be rational and make rational decisions for you because I'm not in it. But when I'm involved, I might second guess because, see, when I give you advice, it's not going to affect me none. And I can be rational as I want to. When I'm thinking about me, I'm thinking about my consequences. So sometimes being rational, it kind of escapes you. So now you start thinking irrationally, and you're like, wait, maybe that's not the right thing to do. And you second guess yourself. So we could find that's definitely, what do we say here? Like Tom Brady the other day. He goes off to the coach. He's having an awful game. He goes to the opposing sideline, tells the coach to go F himself. What? Now, rationally, he wouldn't do that. But when you mad and you in your own feelings, that opens the door for you to be irrational and make those kind of decisions. So when it comes down to it, it's easier to, which is weird, because it's easier to be more irrational with yourself than it is with somebody else.
Most
like
definitely.
you can be rational because you don't have that feeling aspect of it. The emotion isn't there really. Now, somebody do something to your family member, you might get irrational because that's your family member. You might get mad. But when you're asking for some kind of relationship advice or something like that, you get upset. We've all had girlfriends and you be mad about something your girl did, and your homies will give you rational advice. And
sometimes you take it.
And sometimes you take it, but a lot of times, you make an irrational decision. They're like, man, bro, just leave her alone, bro. I swear to God, she ain't no good for you, man. Leave her alone. And then the irrational you will be like, man, I'm gonna write her a letter. I'm gonna stand outside her house with a speaker, with a radio, and I'm gonna
don't cost a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something that's pretty much irrational. And women do it too. They do irrational things a lot of times, to be honest. But even within our own constructs, right? And being in a relationship, sometimes your girl tell you something where it's the most simple answer of all time. Just don't say nothing, or something like random, or something like maybe she does actually like you. She just presents things in a way that's not. I think you're seeing it wrong because I'm being rational in the situation. They'll go to work the next day and do the irrational thing and confront people and cry and stuff like that. So I find it that we make more irrational decisions when it comes to us if there's emotion involved, whereas we'll make more rational decisions when there's not emotion involved. So I'm pretty sure that's a universal
key factor.
Yeah,
now our boy back. He back. The local neighborhood scumbag.
Okay, actually excited for this. now that the villain arc is back.
Villain arc is back.
This is like
Yeah.
the past few weeks is like when the Joker helped the Justice League. Now like the Joker's running amok again. Go ahead.
I was going to say back on the BS. Spoken from the perspective of someone who's I've done more than my fair share of irrational things. It can the blowback is real. Unfortunately enough, it all comes back on you in the end. But I've found as I've gotten older and matured that sometimes the irrational action is the right action for the time. I can, and this is hindsight, but there are times in my life where I can say I can look back at a time that I acted irrationally, but in the grand scheme of the situation, I totally justify it and understand why it happened, and probably would not change it if I'm going to be honest. Now that being said, I can also look back on times where I definitely probably should have been more rational, and I account my irrationalness to the fact that I did grow up with 4 sisters. I grew up around a lot of females, so the female energy is just there. You know what I mean? So there are certain traits that you just gonna pick up. I feel like anybody who's got a lot of sisters will understand what I'm saying. Like especially when you're outnumbered in the grand scheme of things. Like I got a brother and 4 sisters, so it's a big difference. It's double the number. So, it's to what Joe was saying. I feel like it's a lot easier. It's a simple case of it's a lot easier to give advice than to take it yourself. Even when it's yourself giving you the advice, I'm pretty sure everybody here has told somebody something that they should do and then found themselves in the same situation and done completely the opposite. But because you did the opposite, now you're able to help and tell said person, hey, you shouldn't do that. I guess what I want everyone to take away is some of us do the irrational things so we can then tell people early on that you shouldn't do this from experience. So that's me playing devil's advocate and justifying being irrational at times. Just look back in your lives, and I'm pretty sure anybody can do this. There's a time where you acted a fool, but it's completely justified. Like you're 99% sure anybody would react that way. So
Jay-Z said
there's a time and a place for everything, people.
Jay-Z said, I did it so y'all don't have to.
There we go. Ho.
You had something to say, Montay?
I thought of something when he was speaking. When it comes to rational and irrational thinking, to all my men out there, learn your triggers. Like, learn what triggers you to get pissed and think irrationally. Like, learn your triggers or weaknesses, please. Like, it's not. I don't really necessarily have a way to say how you need to learn them, because you can learn them by experience. You can learn about people actually triggering them. It's not really a way I can necessarily say how to, whether like other than just pure introspection and like figuring out what triggers you, what pisses you off, what's gonna get you to like almost explode. To go like learn your triggers, because what you don't want to do is have other people learn them and you not learn how to control them. Like learn what triggers you,
people. Emotionally.
Because otherwise, like your trigger could even be you getting drunk. Like it don't matter what it is. Your trigger could be alcohol. Your trigger could be weed. Your trigger could be whatever it is that gets you to a point to where you no longer think with your rational brain. Your trigger could be sex. Your trigger could be sex. Your trigger could be fine women. Your trigger could be whatever. Like whatever it is, your weakness or your trigger gonna be that's gonna start getting you thinking outside of your logical mind. Figure out what that is, because if you don't, somebody else will.
Somebody will.
If they manipulate you, you can end up in trouble. Please figure out your triggers. It took me a minute to figure out mine. Man, look.
Hey, shout out to therapists and counselors. I do it every episode. You got to. You really want to learn your triggers. That's how you figure it out, people.
I ain't gonna cap to you, man. You gotta
Let me help you avoid some time in juvenile detention and other places that you don't want to be. It's easier to.
Now, let me say this though. You do make sure you have emotional reactions. Because
don't just bottle it all up.
If you don't, you might be a sociopath, and that is very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing, but he's serious though, man.
That's not a lie.
You might be a sociopath. Like if you don't feel nothing and everything is rational, like you might have a chemical condition to be like lack empathy and don't have feelings, or it takes something really hard to get it. Because people always say you're a sociopath, but it's levels of sociopathicness. Yeah. Like because a lot of politicians are sociopaths. A lot of the decisions they make.
You have to lack empathy to be a politician.
Yeah, so
I was going to say, to be a politician, I feel like you almost have to have some sociopathic tendencies. You can't be regular.
So if you have emotional responses, that is normal. But the thing is, I want to say is don't let emotional responses
dictate your
So don't let it dictate your behavior or control whatever you got going on. You should make sure you gotta have a firm grasp, like Montay said, of your triggers, of your things that give you emotion, of the things that.
Which is easier said than done, though. It's not something that you can do overnight, but it's something you got to be able to do to survive.
Something to work
at least
on.
in today.
Yeah, something to work on, something to work toward. Because if you don't have control over that, and people find out, like Montay said, what triggers you, they can use that against you. Oh, if
I had it all the time as a kid. If a whole identity crisis, you know what it's like to be mixed in the hood. You ain't black enough for the black kids, ain't white enough for the white kids. You trying to figure it out. It's that old cliche. It's real though. That stuff triggered many a fights over something little that I could have shrugged off.
Yeah, because once people use it, they use it against you. If you are in work, let's give an example. If you are in work, someone knows your triggers and they know that they really don't want you to do something, they're your enemy, they can use that at work against you.
Set you up to fail.
It doesn't mean you don't have to feel that way, but you have to be aware. You should be aware of it. This is a man case. I'm gonna say your girl, your wife, your fiance, girlfriend, just the girl you with, whatever. If it was, by the way, any human, men do this a lot too. They'll gaslight you. They know what trigger you. They know what gets you upset, and they'll use it against you to either create a weakness in you or to make you upset and to like try to trigger you to the point you angry just so they can have an advantage over you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So these things.
Obi-Wan told us you can't be angry when you're in the battle.
Yeah. So in your friends, family, your family knows something bothers you and they don't want to see you. They'll use it against you. They'll try to say something to make them leave or something. Like they try to control your emotions. So, and that's with men and women, but we talking about man cave today. So one thing you don't know, that's what gaslighting is. Using a opportunity to manipulate you and make you think what I'm doing wrong to you is your fault. Because I know what triggers you. Once I figure, if I know something triggers Joe, and then I do something to Joe that Joe is upset about, and then I tell Joe that it's your fault because of this, and you get upset, but you can't really say nothing because you're emotional, and you just sit there and be mad, I know his weakness. So it goes back to the first.
And now you can light the gas if you need to.
Yeah, and that goes back to our very first episode of this show about masculinity.
Let's go. Callbacks. We like Spider-Man.
Yeah, so
callbacks for days.
And we talked about this stuff. We talked about how understanding your trigger points, understanding your emotions, your thought processes, all these things, how it can help you and how being masculine, because that could be a trigger too. And it's little stupid things. For instance, you hit some girl like, oh, you like her. That's a weird response, right? Like, why would I hit somebody I like? But again, that's
you gotta be more clear in 2021 saying that that could get clipped crazy. You hit a girl and you
They
hit her
know
because
what
you
I'm
like
talking
her.
about. It's a
I know what you're
Your
saying, but I
parents
also
said it.
know the internet.
Local scumbag, bang, bang.
Let's go. Don't be afraid to bop again.
Yo, shout out to Tori stopping me from
Equal
getting a yellow
opportunity,
check
please,
mark.
hands.
This you're not even the neighborhood scum. You stopping me from getting a check mark. This where are we in a
Oh,
different
damn.
multiverse? Are we in a different multiverse?
Wow.
We in another multiverse. This is wild.
Switching it up.
But yeah, but essentially, like
My bad.
when you're a little kid.
Sorry, YouTube.
No, how are you saying sorry for it? You didn't even do it.
Scumbag, bag.
He didn't even do it this time. They love giving me yellow check marks though. I don't understand. But
Turn up.
and they changed it like 3 days later.
We want a meeting with Susan. Everyone else is getting meetings with Susan. I want one too. I want to voice my opinion to the CEO of YouTube.
They're like, sir, you get
Oh,
54 views. We don't really care.
And we also want to know
You might want to talk to
Every
Spotify.
creator counts.
who was the blackologist that decided some black people was better than other black people when they did that scholarship program. I want to know who was the blackologist up there. They ain't look
This
at potential or
podcast
nothing.
is taking a turn.
Yeah.
It's taking a
We
turn.
went from yellow check marks to it ain't even getting posted. This is the lost
This
episode, boys.
podcast is taking a turn
That
today.
is- that-
Okay.
That is very interesting. I want to know the emotional or rational decision making of who picked the black people to be represented.
Who was
by
emotional
Yeah.
if we didn't get
Let's
sponsored by
go.
Manscaped? It's
That's
called
the real
Man
question.
Cave.
because
I will hold the razor up for man for man ball shaving.
Yeah, taking a
Anytime.
turn.
I'm still curious though, because that is interesting in rational emotion. Like if a white person is like choosing who to give black people the scholarship,
What black people should we give a chance?
yeah, like that's like,
Irrationally.
they're like, they got a scumbag on the show. They can't get no money.
I was gonna say it ain't
And one
moving.
person on the show is blackity black, so you know how I do.
Yeah, he's pushing that hateful rhetoric.
YouTube gonna give us a thing like, you and Montay got to do a show by yourself.
So we got X help to.
Darkness,
Those
everybody,
two at the top. Can you edit them out of your video? I'm like, that's one is like
just take them to do that.
one algorithm seems to get 10% of your views outside of it's from 4chan. Like it's
No,
really on our
because if we
stuff.
were getting them 4chan views, it'd be lit. 4chan is still a well-frequented site to this day. It ain't going nowhere.
I'm not
Regardless
lying,
of them
Tor.
trying to
Tor, I'm telling you, Tor. It say 9.8% of exported views is from 4chan, and like 30 is from Facebook, and then that's like the second most is 4chan. I'm like, how is 4chan?
bruh. Don't sleep on the market. 4chan
Is Tor promoting us on 4chan? By the way, this is
4chan the most. It's the internet, bro.
By the way, this is actually now we are actually on Spotify. Spotify can see us, Joe.
That's kind of cute.
Let's go,
man.
Spotify.
Let's go. Spotify can see us. I didn't even mention this in yesterday's episode, but Spotify can see us. And so it's a lot of back to the subject because I know people are like this is taking a turn.
No,
Yeah,
we're not talking
We
about rational
want the
rational
Spotify
decisions.
deal that Joe Budden turned down. Let me get that 60 million. Joe Budden might have turned it down. We'll take it.
We'll use every bit of it to promote, just like Mr. Beast. I will use 50 million to promote to get bigger.
Let's go. $1 million games of hide and seek coming soon.
Who can find Tori? In the
Good
crack
luck.
house.
What
You gotta-
website
now,
is he
who
on?
who
After
can find Tori at a
11:30
Travis Scott concert?
Oh my god! All right, we're back.
Wow.
We're back to the multiverse is back to regular now. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay. Irrational.
Closed up all those cracks.
Okay,
I think I saw the rhino in the clouds.
you did. See.
I was like, Craven the Hunter.
Oh wait. So I wanted to get y'all thoughts on the process of like how we was raised on an emotional and rational decision. Because I know a lot of people raised different. Some people raised by me and Montay, older parents. Joe raised by grandparents. Tori raised by somebody.
No, I was actually both of my parents are older. I can't. Both of my parents are in their 60s, so.
Oh yeah. Older parents.
So a lot of older parents. And I know y'all will have different experience. I'll put a question on the Spotify page that y'all can comment on so y'all can understand. How were you raised, and how was emotional versus rational decision making for y'all? What we got here? Joe?
Bruh, my whole upbringing was straight up rational. Point blank, period. My grandparents was no nonsense. Like, they was cool, but my grandpa definitely for sure, like, he's set in his ways, and based off of who he is and how he does things, that's the decision he'll make every time. Like, that's the kind of guy that he is. So I was brought up in a very rational upbringing, but there was outside factors. Like, when you're setting your ways and you're rational and like you're set at being a rational person, and then you go to middle school one day and you see these people doing a million things that you would not be doing. And then you get into, I hate to bring it back to relationships, but that's like a microcosm for society, honestly. You get into a relationship, what are you doing? That's irrational. But to them, it may be rational. So, yeah, I mean, it made the world really hard for me to navigate. Like, middle school was just crazy because, like, you know, 1st through 5th grade, you hanging out, and it's these people, you know, it is what it is. And if you're a guy like me, you just laugh at people when they do irrational things. Now, when you get to middle school, now you're seeing people from whole other walks of life. Because I don't know about y'all middle school, but, you know, we go to school with some of our friends that we went to elementary school with, but there's like 5 or 6 other elementary schools that's about to come join you. So that from different walks of life. So their rational might not be my rational, but I'm like, yo, that's mad irrational what you're doing right now. And then boom, you get to high school. And then, you know, then you become an adult. And now like all that stuff you learned before, where you at least got to spend time with these people and get to learn them, you start all over as an adult. Like, you go to college and it's a whole different thing. And then you graduate from college or you go into the workforce, everywhere you go is a whole new, brand new people that's from anywhere. And their rational might not be irrational. So navigating the world for me was, I actually will become emotional, whether it be I get upset or, you know, I get mad about how some people live their lives. Like, I know people right now that hate their baby daddy, but they on like baby number 4. And you've been hating them since baby 1. But like now you're on baby 4 and you've hated that person the whole time. It's irrational to me. And I say what's rational, and then in a sense, I become a bad guy because it's like, you just don't understand. Oh, I don't? So like, and then, so, you know, you hear all these different things, and it's when you come from a strictly rational household, especially because my grandparents, they didn't have the internet. They had a newspaper. You could go to church and maybe get your little gossip off or something. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they didn't have to navigate through how crazy the world is. Like, they just go to work and then, you know, come home and just do the stuff that they do. My grandparents, I ain't never seen them say, oh, we got to go to this party tonight or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, you know, us, our age, where we can be parents or we are parents, yeah, we can go to parties and go handle stuff. And then we can kind of pass down how life is a little bit. But man, yeah, I grew up in a straight up rational home, and it kind of messed me up to see how quote unquote irrational people can be in the decisions that they make. And it still messes me up to this day because it's like, I thought you hated that dude. I don't understand. I thought you cared about the other employees, but you keep on doing things to say otherwise. That doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm standing.
Interesting. We want to talk about Tori.
The nigga said, interesting. Now let me talk about Tori. Shout out to that segue.
Segue King Zell May.
God damn. I feel like Ant-Man.
No,
very vital to Marvel.
Oh, look. Okay, I'm gonna preface it with this: is that I've been diagnosed and medicated for ADHD since I was school age. So I've literally lived my life with a very strict regimen as far as mental health goes. I was a kid growing up. I acted out a lot and I acted a fool a lot. I was like movie level bad kid, like 6, 7 years old, setting dumpsters on fire because I skipped my Adderall that day. You know what I mean? Like, so I got into trouble a lot, which I look back on now, and it was all for the best because my parents were very straightforward with me. Like, they were like, yo, you keep on messing up, it's gonna be bad news. They were real early on. I feel like my parents were never like the super duper lovey type. Like, it was always we tell each other we love each other before we leave off the phone, all that. But they were very much like, they were like, this is what it's like to live early on. Like, it was like, you're gonna have to do this. Like, that's just what it is. So it was a very it was a learning experience, but a good one, because like I said, I'm still learning to this day, as we all are, ever evolving. I like to feel scumbag for a reason, but we're bringing back the meaning. Not all scumbags are bad. It's a process. But anyways, my parents, they did the best they could, but they were trying to chase after a bunch of us. And after a certain age, how are you going to keep track of 6 almost adults? You know what I mean? How you going to, for real, if you're trying to work, both of them work and try to take care of everything, you got a lot of kids are going to get to run around. So I was raised in a very structured but free at the same time way. Like, it was structured in the regimen of, like, I was medicated and doctor's visits and counselor visits and all that, but free in the fact that, like, my parents let us all be individuals. They didn't try to hold us to these crazy standards. Like, they let us be us wholeheartedly. Any crazy ideas we had, it was never a shoot down. It was always an encourage. So I got lucky in that way. So I grew up kind of wild, but I evened out midway through, and we're trying to find the updraft as we speak. So
let's go.
The process.
Time for the Mississippi boys, Monterey.
Man, you ain't gonna tell me.
Good down home south raising.
Buttermilk biscuits every morning.
Every morning.
Silly.
I mean, drinking coffee at 6 years old.
I was about to stand coffee. Ugh, I can't stand coffee to this day.
Wow,
no.
I'm surprised you don't drink coffee. I felt like you were. I thought Joe hit it on the head. I feel your juice gonna be like straight black, no sugar,
I hate
no
coffee.
cream.
I hate coffee.
But that's Joe. Joe's like, I like my coffee like I like my women, all melanin, no color.
No, that's something like me. That let you know my upbringing was different. I don't like coffee. I don't like tea. I ain't gonna get into that.
I thought he was gonna say, like, don't like coffee, don't like black girls. I was like, well, there we go.
I ain't gonna be like that.
You might leave that for another episode. I don't know. We don't know.
Look, Joe, I'm writing fan fiction for you, dog. I'm building your superhero story, bro. You gotta let me cook.
He might have got on to something now. Hold on. Montay thinking he might got on to something. We might learn something.
I'm gonna get a manga artist to draw for a tour so he can write Joe.
Hey, let's go. The Unico saga coming soon. Y'all better tune in. I'm turning him into the Avatar.
Wow.
The Avatar with Medea-like ways. Not the cross-dressing side, though. I don't mean that Joe's gonna dress as a woman in my fan fiction. That would be weird.
Monterey, so tell us more about.
Look, I love taking Joe out of his company. I can tell when. I got quit. I'm going to stop gaslighting Joe with goddamn comments I know will make him uncomfortable. I'm sorry, Joe.
I'm not uncomfortable. It's just this man's turn.
Look, everyone look at Joe. I'm not uncomfortable.
Okay,
but no.
I'm good. I'm good. This goes into some of my own upbringing. My upbringing, relatively simple. Because I was the youngest, so my siblings was mostly out of the house. By the time I got to where I was of age to like think for myself, do for myself, my siblings was out of the house. So for me, most time I was spent by myself.
Oh,
Traditional thing, go outside, but for the most part, I was by myself. So I grew up in pretty much a household where I was free to think how I so choose, within reason. I was pretty nerdy in school, so I grew up, doing good grades, coming home, chilling on my own. So I grew up with it, that and video games, and pretty good parents, for the most part. It was pretty logical thinking when it comes to me. Like it wasn't really just a lot of overly emotion shown in my house. So because like all
yeah.
those things just really made me be more by myself, more logically thinking. Like I would observe people, I would watch people, try to understand the things they seem to do, like why they do what they do, what they think, how they act, all that kind of stuff. So I ended up growing up being pretty logical minded. And over that course, I did have to learn more about like my emotional part of myself. But being logical minded just had me thinking, rationally thinking how I so choose and learn what was correct and what was not correct. So I pretty much saw a lot of the world, especially that combined with uh traditional church upbringing, Baptist church, grew up in the
Oh,
youth choir, all that kind of stuff. Pretty much gets your mind to where like, okay, you see the world a lot of times it's black or white. Like you don't really understand that the world is mostly gray. It ain't really just rational thinking this, do this, that. Nah, the world is basically gray. It ain't really a lot of white and black in it at all, other
Facts.
than like some
that's a
extremes.
fact.
But when you try to put things in this box of it's just this or it's just this, then that's where it gets it gets really difficult to try to deal with some people, rather than try to understand the world and the greatness that they live in. Now there are black and white parts of the world, and we don't need to forget that fact. But a lot of times, especially when it comes to a person's mind or how a person thinks, especially or how a person acts, there's a lot of gray in that. Now, how they choose to take that thinking and roll with it is up to them. But so that's how I always end up looking at the world. Like, okay, people do the things for the reason that they choose to do things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to understand why you do it. All I gotta do is just understand that you do it. It is what it is. So, and that's always how I've been. I gotten better with understanding and thinking about people and understanding what's best for me. That's the biggest logical thing I can tell anybody come from logical and rational thinking is to understand what is best for you long term, short term, mid term, and all this, that, and the other stuff. But our brain was fine. It was relatively straight, Like I figure, and especially as men, I can say this, with pretty good certainty, is that the majority of us as growing younger black men done grew up with some type of difficulty, tragedy,
It's bound
hardships.
to happen.
Everybody got some stuff they didn't have to deal with in the back of their mind and just took it under their fold and be like, yeah, I done had to deal with some rough patches, whether it's some single parent struggles, whether it was some stuff you done seen in the streets, whether it's some stuff you done did, whether it's some stuff you done buried, some stuff you done heard. We done all had some struggles like that in our childhood for the most part, especially us as upcoming black men or upcoming men in general. We done all seen and dealt with some scrap. So it's how you learn to process those things. It really determines how well of a person you be. Because some people, they don't process it and they get trapped in it. Once you get trapped in it, your rational, irrational, logical thinking go out the window.
Yep.
But so it's how you be able to process the things that happen in your childhood and the things that you grow up with really determines your method of thinking. So process that properly. Best thing I say for it.
Yeah,
Good word. Good word.
to Montay's point, I was raised kind of different, I guess. My dad was way laid back. He was like really laid back. Probably where I got that from. My mom was very intense. Probably really was around my grandma a lot more than either one of them because they worked. Mom was always out of town doing her community work with her agency, and my dad was a carpenter, so he'll go to like for instance, during Katrina, he'll be in Mouse Point building a house. He wasn't coming home from Mouse Point every day. That's 2.5, 3 hours, so he'll be there. So I mostly be with my grandma or my brother. So I'll be with my brother. But at the same time, I came from a family that, you win. You win. Your sister win. Your brother win. You win. your sister, your brother up for valedictorian or salutatorian every time. And the only reason they don't get it is because somebody played with the number. So we win here. And by the way, they a lot older than me. My sister 18 years older than me. My brother's 8. So
yeah, big difference.
So they were probably around my mama and my dad more than probably I was, because like I said, they was full time into it. Then when my sister and brother around, my mom was a teacher. When I was little, she became a teacher again, but when I was little, she was more like into the agency, so she had to travel to Meridian and do like all these events for like community service. So I was raised with my grandma, so I kind of didn't get the winning aspect as much as they did, even though it was still there, because mom is mom. Dad didn't really care about stuff like that. He was in his own thing, doing his own thing, Vietnam vet. So you expected to win, you expected to be good, you expected to be good at things, you expected to. And it's not even from your parents, really, because like I said, my mom was gone, but everybody else like, oh, your brother's smart. Oh, your brother, even to this day, your brother's 6 figures, your sister 6 figures. They like, you gonna be like them? I'm like, nah, I'm be 8 figures. I don't know what you mean. So I'm always in a
Next level.
Yeah, so I'm always in like a competitive mindset, even though I'm not competing with them, because like we different from them two, because again how my upbringing was, because I was around more grandma than probably they were. I'm more creative. I got more of my creative juice off than they do. They got that oh, you the best. You do it this way. You the best. You the best. You the best. You be at the top. You at the top in school. You at the top in college. You get the Bill Gates scholarships. You do that while I'm sitting around climbing on a tree with my grandma and she up here rolling the floor with me. So they like I remember when I was little, my mom would make me read the encyclopedia or dictionary when she was in a little disc. But I didn't have to do it a lot, so I couldn't imagine how my brother do it, because like I said, mama wasn't around much. So brother, however, had to do it way more than I did. I'm finna climb this tree. Like I'm finna climb this tree and jump from tree to tree and be athletic and do outside things. So I'm more from that. So I got a little bit of like every type of creativity and stuff. So, and probably why more so than them, I'm more willing to try anything and do things. Because they're like, I'm being the best at this because I want to do this. While I'm more like, yo, let's just do it. Let's just start a podcast. Let's just start
nothing
this
ventured,
show.
Nothing gained.
Yeah, let's just do this. Instead of having to wait on somebody else to do it, we can do it. Let's figure it out. We can figure this out. You've seen how this show changed over the year. It went from regular basic looking to this, what we got now with these logos, and I done figured out how to make this thing, man cave, and this background, and the subscribe thing right here, and I made that logo up there. Why not try it? Why not try politics? Why not try radio? Why not write 2 books? Why not? Why shouldn't I? So I'm kind of a lot in the rational side, but experience taught me probably a lot of irrational stuff too. So it's very interesting. And then I went to Southern Miss, and for a few years, Montay was like an HBCU.
Boy.
And they, by the way, they turned it back quick, Montay. They turned it back from the HBCU quick. All I know is they took all the cheap buildings down, put up a bunch of expensive buildings.
Noticed, bro. They're taking it back.
They like, no. Oh, we had the quad, Joe. All the black people. Joe, it's a sea of black people at the quad. Joe, I'm talking about it's a sea. Montay. But when I say it's 1,000 black people, it was 1,000 black people just in the quad hanging out. Them people said, get y'all butt to y'all room. Don't stay out here no more. We calling the police. Montay,
taking down the rent.
What am I lying? Nope. We calling the police.
I got my out there too.
We calling the police. Y'all get away from Stone Throw. If you ain't buying nothing, go home.
I bet Brett Favre came back one good weekend and said, "What the hell's happened to my university?"
Bill Bryant probably did too. But yeah, they came down, they changed it quick. But like it's different experiences, bro. We had drug dealers in college. I'm like, how do you get here? They raised that.
That's par for the course.
Yeah, man.
Say that's part of.
So the Miss, they ain't usually in school. They just on campus. He was in school.
Them ones. But that's par for the course too.
My dude was in school. They raised that. They
So
raised.
I know a lot of college students are so.
My boy told me when he was driving, the police broke into all his apartments. They were like, bro, they ain't got me yet, Trav. I'm like, what? On top of a Mercedes. I'm like, oh, they ain't got me yet.
Like roll.
That was a boardwalk, Montay. He said, they ain't got me yet.
Talk about rational versus irrational decisions, man. You as a kid, like, because college, I still say kid. And like, yo, you make some wild decisions. I made mad
it's your
wild
first time
decisions
free
in
too.
college.
It's your first time
free, no nothing. And then again, you meet people from
no sneaking.
So it was one thing to see people
No curfew. Let's go.
When you in high school, you see there's still people from your city, so y'all still share some experiences. But when you go to college, man, you got folk from different states, different cities. Man, I'll never forget. I met an LA girl out there. Man, I didn't know they got down like that. That's when I first found out that them Christian girls,
preachers' daughters, do it dirty.
When I finally got her to come hang out with me.
But she got
rational decisions were made.
I did not know that. Very rational decisions. I mean, Shorty was a dancer and all that. Like, I was like, but you seem so innocent. You don't want to do anything. That's why I didn't try anything.
Joe, you got to think about that. She got the extreme case of extra raising and pressure. So when she ain't got that, she go, you the preacher though. You can't do this. You must wear dresses all the time to get to college. Okay. All right.
Who she showed up. But yeah, man, irrational decision to tell that story and go back down
from the Bible Belt to the BDSM chair. Let's go,
man. She ain't need no Brazilian butt lift either. I remember that about her. Child.
He said it was fat.
Child.
But yeah, once you go to college, it's a whole different world. You are finally on your own to make your own decision for the first time, and that's the main time you will probably make emotional decisions because you don't have no influence of somebody else. Because even when let's say you sneaking something in, you making a rational decision on plotting how to do it. When you're in college, you don't even think about it. Hey, come on, I got the dorm closed at 12. Come on, we got an hour. And a lot of kids were born. But
man, I was saying, man, there's a whole bunch of 10-minute irrational/rational decisions I made in college. And I was like, I mean, and you just go on about the rest of your day because it's like you feel like, nah, ain't no repercussions of this.
Yeah, high school would be like high school, you had to plot it.
You did have to plot.
High school, college, you didn't have to plot no more, so you can make worse decisions.
I waited in bushes for a text message.
Like
in high school, like I plotted out like I gotta wait behind these bushes, and then once I see this one light go off, then I can go ahead and tap on that door.
See, I was much more blatant in school. We'll devote a non-paid episode for a day of my stories of school because
I'm here for it.
We're putting on Patreon.
You can't monetize.
That'll be a dope.
You can't monetize some of them.
That'll be a dope special.
We gotta make a Patreon.
Hey, the next step to an OnlyFans, people. Get ready for the content.
Hey, I'm going to say this on here because I've been wanting to tweet it since this is Man Cave and we're about to wrap up that whole thing. I want to know what is the Reddit for the OnlyFans. Like, somebody dropped the link or something. I need to find this because
r/OnlyFans is where you start and follow the links from there.
I like it's specific.
And again, this podcast is taking a turn.
I'm trying to make a rational decision and steal it because I'm not going to pay for it.
Hey, don't nobody want to pay
my attention.
Don't nobody want to pay. If Kanye's not out here paying, I ain't either.
Just press r/ whatever the person name is.
I was about to say, bro, it's really link hopping's the way to do it, or you could go to 4chan.
Some people might take the turn. Okay.
r/ whoever I'm looking for. Do I search right on Reddit or do I search on Google?
Yes, you right on Reddit.
Okay, got it. Okay, we can go ahead and move on. Any more rational decisions y'all need to make? I just made one.
Joe said he's trying not to spend money. Very rational decision.
Let's go. Less frugal.
But it's been a great episode. I wanna wish y'all because I don't know if I'm doing a show before Christmas. I want to say y'all Merry Christmas. Spotify, you finally can see us.
Yeah, happy holidays, listeners.
Spotify
We
can see
missed
us.
out on Chinooka.
They know our face now. They can see us on Spotify. Spotify has video now. Let's go. So they can see our face. Look at Joe. Look, ain't he wholesome?
Very.
The face of a revolution.
r/wholesome Joe.
It's gonna be crazy.
Make our Reddit.
Yo, you know you made it when you got a Reddit thread, bruh. That's when we know we're lit. Once the Reddit thread
Me and Joe gotta do a skit. Me and Joe gotta do a skit where we put ourselves on Roast Me Reddit and put a picture up and then react to it. Me and Joe gotta do it. We're gonna make a 20-minute skit on the content channel just for that.
I'm gonna blame.
Hey, they be vicious.
Look that good.
Yo,
because if I look my best and they still roast me, it's gonna do something to my self-esteem.
I was gonna say, bro, they be vicious.
They gonna destroy you, Joe, and I'm here for it. I'm like, yo, Roast Me Reddit. Me and Joe on the content channel. We gonna have to make that video and react to the comment. Tori, that sound like a plan, right? Because it's gonna be hilarious. They gonna roast the shit.
I was about to say it's gonna be something.
They don't have real profile pictures.
I was about to say it's all fake profile pictures out there, yo.
Can't even roast back.
And they're gonna be ruthless. And I think people have fun watching that. I think
them are the worst ones. But you gotta we're the age that grew up with the internet though. We gotta be able to do it better. The young generation's just a little more cold than we are, but we're getting there. The sociopathic tendencies run deep in the young generation. They're just mean to each other.
And then they cry when they gotta get dissed back. It's weird. It's like, I'm gonna be the meanest person I can be to you. But then roasting back, they gonna cry. That's why they make fake.
I'm like, don't try that with me, yo.
That's why they make fake profile pictures. I love
arguing on the internet.
But again, appreciate y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Yeah, happy holidays.
It's Merry Christmas. So I'm just giving y'all a little content that we're gonna have. C News, Roast Me Reddit video, all coming in 2022. Monday Morning Quarterback will be back on the 27th on the sports channel, ASMR channel. I have some up sometime this week. Sleep Z's, that's what the channel called.
Soothing sounds coming your way, people.
Yeah, so you can go to sleep to the channel. We're gonna do everything on over right now. And it's a whole media network. Africa's Redemption, got the interviews, all that stuff. I'm helping them, so be on that channel. That's not directly related to me, but it is related to me. So we doing a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff. Joe channel, Unico. I don't know if he gonna play games on their Twitch, but he be on the Montay got Broke Ugly Dude. I can let y'all do it. Monray, take us out with the promo. We're gonna start the promo.
Naturally, catch your boy on Broke Ugly Dudes TV. Many podcasts on there. Us and a whole different crew acting stupid. Also, if you want to get at me personally, I am on Instagram and I'm on TikTok, both called Monray Hudson. Come get some of this hot fire and buy the merch.
Gotta
let them know.
Link in the description. Joe, anything to promote? You streaming on Twitch during the holidays or anything like that?
Man, listen, man, I'm out here. Unico Williams, you know the deal, man. I'm out here looking for half price off gift cards to Concannon Donut Spot. I need a gift card to the Taco Spot, and that's what everybody getting for Christmas.
Bing bong.
Oh yeah.
Byron.
Tori, what can they find you on? You on 14 going wild?
You already know it's Afro Comedy 765 on everything: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz. Your local neighborhood scumbag giving hot takes. Remember, people, don't let outside influences disrupt your inner peace, yo. Other people's energy is throwing you off. Don't be afraid to be a bad person. Just don't be a bad person all the time.
r/Tory.
That's horrible advice, Tory.
Let's go. I want to read it.
Okay.
Direct link to the OnlyFans. r/Tory.
Hey, you ever see the OnlyFans? Just know there's mad midgets on there. It's going down. Little people that probably wasn't politically correct, but hanging from the ceiling, all kinds of freaky booty like groceries, mad flagrant.
We've lost them.
All your worst nightmares, my best dreams. Let's go.
Is this the killing joke? Did you just watch that?
Hey, if little people strapped from ceilings is what kills us, it's a hill to die on.
YouTube, I'm not even gonna argue with your yellow check mark again. I will argue with it on the what's the name on the Spider-Man episode, but every Thursday I don't even argue no more. So I appreciate y'all. We are on Spotify. You can see me. Switch the day. Thursday still get even YouTube knows like, oh, it's Thursday. They put out a video demonetized. They already know it's Thursday. Every time I say it's Thursday, they're like, oh, press the button.
Get ahead of the problem. That's the way the algorithm works.
I appreciate everybody being here again. I don't know if you might see them. You'll see them next week, next Wednesday, back here with another episode of Man Cave. We back on the regular day. Just a Fan next Thursday. I appreciate. I'm trying to get us on Facebook, but for some reason Facebook sending me to some other RSS feed site. But we here. We appreciate y'all. Anything y'all want to tell them about for Christmas before we get out of here? I only want to wish you a Merry Christmas. So
Merry Christmas.
Bye, humbug.
The news I want to share, I can't put on here. I'm gonna share later. Y'all will see it on Twitter. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, congratulations, boy or girl?
Nah, well, it ain't
Let's go.
All right, see y'all. I'll see y'all Monday if y'all come to Sport Channel. If you're on this
Man
channel, we off till
gender reveal inbound.
We off till Wednesday. We'll be back next Wednesday. I'll have a new setup and all that stuff. Y'all, for the ones that want to do sports, I'll be here Monday. But Montay said buy the merch, link in the description. All that stuff, all the links to all the other channels and all that is below too. So if you want to talk about sports, you want to talk about content channel, and you want to watch that Roast Me Reddit with Joe, follow the content channel. All that in the description. Spotify again. Thank you, Anchor, Apple Music, all the people that listen to us on the thing. I want to make sure thank you. Wish you a Merry Christmas.
Shout out to the listeners.
Shout out to you if you want to play us in the background for your dog to listen to so you can sleep. Shout out to y'all too. I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to make sure I don't think of nothing for the holiday. What you say?
I was going to say, we're getting all them holiday greetings in there.
Yeah, trying to get it all out there. We'll see y'all before New Year's. New Year's Day, we will be bringing out, like, I don't know when the Roast Me Reddit, but to see news, we'll be here. So, Joe got a phone call, so he's trying to get off here, so I'm trying to hold him up from getting wherever he got going on. Sorry. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everything. See y'all next Wednesday. Peace.
Peace out.